Hey guys, welcome to episode number 7 of the Athletes in Adversity podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Wayne Chrebet and how he opened doors for smaller slot receivers like Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, and Danny Amendola. Now with that, make sure to go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, all at Athletes in Adversity, as well as my Twitter at AthletesPod. Also go support the show for as little as 99 cents a month right on the Anchor.fm app or website, or if you want to be more generous, go pledge up to $50 a month on my Patreon at Athletes in Adversity. So with that, let's get today's show started. Wayne Chrebet. Now a lot of you, maybe some of my listeners don't know who this guy is, but Wayne Chrebet was a wide receiver for the New York Jets in the 90s up until around the 2000s. He was an undrafted free agent who never got invited to the NFL Combine. He was short, and he only played Division AA football. Not really a formula for his stardom. I'm just going to read an article here that Wayne Chrebet put together himself, and it really honestly explains how hard working can get to where you want to be in life. As an undrafted free agent, you want to make all 32 teams that passed on you 7 times pay for not drafting you. And that's what I did for 11 years. I don't think I was born to be a professional football player, but I worked at it. Even though I didn't know it at the time, I was preparing for my first training camp since I was 5 years old. Every break, every halftime, every chance I got, I was throwing the ball around with my dad. Football, baseball, tennis ball, it didn't matter. I was diving on my parents' couches, neighbors' lawns, wherever. During the pre-draft process, I worked out with a couple of teams like the Saints and Bengals, and even the Canadian Football League. Nobody had come out of Hofstra in 20 or 30 years. That's the college you went to. But both teams said they might take me in the 6th or 7th round. I watched the first day of the draft as a fan at a bar with my parents. The next day, I wasn't expecting anything, but I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't hopeful. My girlfriend kept calling me and asking if anything had happened, and I was like, listen, get off the phone, I'm waiting for a call. In the 6th round, I think one of those teams drafted a guy that was coming off a knee injury, and I was a little depressed at the time. So I went outside. A little while later, my mom shouted that John Griffin was on the phone. I thought maybe she got the name wrong because I was talking to a John Garrett from the Bengals. Turns out Griffin was just checking out a couple guys from New Hampshire at a homecoming my senior year. It was totally a surprise to hear from the Jets, but it worked out perfectly. I went right from my dorm to the workout. Todd Haley threw me like 100 passes, I didn't drop one. Then came a choice, Jets, Saints, or Bengals. But it was an easy decision. My best chance of making the team was with the Jets, and they gave me $1,500. The next day became a very well-documented story. With a backpack on and my hat low, I walked from my door across campus to practice. I was stopped at the guard booth by Hofstra security officer Harry Fisher, who simply replied, "No autographs." I explained who I was and said, "Dude, I have to practice to go to. I'm going to be late." But he still didn't believe I was a player. I was looking around like, what am I supposed to do here? I can't tell Harry to call someone because I didn't know anybody. Eventually, someone waved me in. 11 years later, I retired a Jet. To see my name now in the Ring of Honor up there with guys like Joe Namath, Don Maynard, Joe Klecko, it's surreal. Being a part of the green and white immortalizes means everything to me because it validates my career and gives me a chance to say goodbye because I basically walked off the field with an injury. Something like that. My career wasn't supposed to happen, but I worked for it. I put everything I had into it. Sure, it might have been easier to come off into the league now, but I liked the path I took. When I was coming out of college 25 years ago, slot receivers didn't exist. I am now the godfather of slot receivers, according to Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman. I went out to dinner with those two a couple years ago. They told me that's what they call me, the Godfather. I've been called a lot of things throughout my career. Chevret, Chrebet, Cubert, but never the Godfather. I think it's hilarious, awesome, but hilarious. To all the undrafted free agents this year and years to come, sometimes it's better to go undrafted. You get to decide what team gives you the best chance to succeed. You may only get one chance during training camp. Keep your head low, do the dirty work, learn the playbook, plus it makes a better story. Wayne Chrebet was a guy who dealt with a lot of adversity in his life. He was one of the shortest wide receivers, and nobody wanted to pick him because they didn't see his upside. They missed on one thing, his heart. Now I'm going to be talking about heart for a second. Heart is something that you can't teach. Heart is something you have. Heart is something that people can't see. But your heart and your dedication can get you to where you want to be in life. Now, that goes for everything, though. Where you want to be in life is all dependent on you, yourself. And it doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter if people put you down. It doesn't matter what everyone else says. It doesn't matter who hates on you. It only matters that you yourself know you're going to succeed and know you're going to put in the work to become the best in your field or anywhere in life. And that's what a guy like Wayne Chrebet did. He saw an opportunity and he took it. He saw that nobody wanted him, so he continued to strive for greatness. And that's what a lot of people should do. As for Wayne Chrebet, though, his career ended early with injuries, and he turned to a different motive in life. He found a different way to do what he wanted to do. Wayne Chrebet is now a stockbroker, and he goes in every day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to work at his craft, just like he did in the NFL. The earlier you wake up, the earlier you become good at something, and the earlier you get advantages over everyone else. Wayne Chrebet was a man who took advantages over everyone in his life. Everybody passed on him, but he knew he wasn't going to give up. Whether that be in the stockbroker world or in the NFL, he became a successful man. And in my opinion, I think that's what everyone should do. They should become successful. They should not care what other people think and what other people say about them. I'm going to end today's episode with a quote. And I hope you guys really take this quote to heart, because it's something that I learned over a lot of time. Most people that have no dreams will wake up every day and try to talk you out of your dreams. And that's what a lot of people do. They see you're doing something you love, and they see you're doing something you enjoy, and they always try to talk you out of it, or talk you down, or hate on you, or anything in between. But truth is, you can't listen to that. You can't listen to the negativity. You got to just keep grinding and doing what you want to do in life. And in my opinion, that's the most important thing anyone can take from this show. That's the most important thing you should take from the show, is that no matter how many people put you down, no matter how many people say you're not going to become what you want to become, and you're not going to become good at what you do, you have to go through that adversity to become great, and use it as motivation to prove people wrong. And that's what I'm doing with this podcast, and that's what I hope you guys do with your life. You have to become great. You have to become successful. But if you're not willing to put in the work, and if you listen to the people that tell you you're not going to become anything, you're not going to become successful. Hey guys, thank you all for listening to today's episode of the Athletes in Adversity podcast. Make sure to go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, all at Athletes in Adversity, as well as my Twitter at AthletesPod. Also, go support the show for as little as 99 cents a month right on Anchor.fm. Or if you want to be more generous, go pledge up to $50 a month on my Patreon, Athletes in Adversity. So with that, we're going to end the show today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening to the Athletes in Adversity podcast.